Let's get to the Sky News. This clip did numbers.
Abdul El-Sayed is the left-wing poster boy chosen by Democrats to run for the Senate in Michigan. He's progressive, a candidate who took on the party establishment and won. It reflects a Democratic Party divided, struggling for unity, struggling for a coherent message ahead of midterms and, of course, the presidential election in 2028. Donald Trump, he's calling this communism. He says he's happy with the result, says that Abdul El-Sayed is full of it, although he used a stronger word than that. I put that to Abdul El-Sayed. I'm from Sky News in the UK. Nice to meet you. James Matthews. Right now. Very, very quick, one question. Donald Trump says that Donald Trump seems to think you're a gift for the Republican Party. What do you say to that?
Good to meet you.
Abdul, Donald Trump seems to think you're a gift to the Republican Party. What do you say to that?
I'm a gift to the state of Michigan, God willing, and hope to win this election.
And he says, if you pardon the language, you're full of What do you say to that?
At least I don't let mine go in the middle of the Oval Office.
If he goes on to win the Senate race in November's midterm elections,
God damn. He said the president dookie in his diapers, dude. God damn. I mean, that clip is going to do incredible numbers. Smooth. It's true. Look at the power move too. Look, the arm over the body. Look.
Good to meet you.
Abdul, Donald Trump seems to think you're a gift to the Republican Party. What do you say to that?
I'm a gift to the state of Michigan, God willing, and hope to win this election.
And he says, if you pardon the language, you're full of What do you say to that?
At least I don't let mine go in the middle of the Oval Office.
If he goes on to win the Senate race.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Dude, he's quick with it. He's quick with it. I'm telling you right now, this is going to hit wine country like Hiroshima. Okay? Enola Gay dropping a nuclear atom bomb. Wine moms that hear this are going to go, oh my God, I have never seen. Why can't Democrats be like this? This is going to slap the Midas Touch constituency in the face. This is going to be the real Will Smith slap heard around the world, okay? I'm telling you right now, everything down to like the power move, putting his arm around the reporter, like Midas Touch. Oh, it's, of course, 5 million views on this already. Just wait until the Donald Trump his pants in the White House clip. Like, for me, it's a little bit corny. It's fine. For us, it's a little bit corny, okay? But I'm telling you, for this clip uploaded on TikTok has 1.5 million views and 157,000 likes in 11 hours. Yeah, see, this is exactly how Dems need to respond to Trump's bullshit. Because, like, the reality of the matter is this. Everyone wants a Trump, okay? This is kind of, we're kind of finally seeing why Trump was so captivating for so many people. Because it really is a cult for Trump. It really is a cult for Trump. Trump was able to do stuff like this all the time, okay? Trump was able to do stuff like this all the time, and he paired it up with like a white supremacist narrative, with a white supremacist agenda that was obviously like very appealing to some of the worst qualities in people, right? And Trump was the first in some respects. There's decorum before Trump. There's a pre-Trump and post-Trump universe that we're in. And Democrats, it took them like 10 years to finally get to that point. Some of them were trying to do it in the last 2 years where they would say or shit or bitch, right? When they got mad. But that's not the point. The point is being quick on your feet, being witty, and flipping the narrative immediately back. America loves a bully, unfortunately. I don't think it's unfortunate. I'm a bully. I bully bullies. That's it. And someone like Donald Trump absolutely did that, right? Someone like Donald Trump was constantly putting the crosshairs on those who were less fortunate. Yeah. When they go low, take it to hell. I support this. Respectfully, being the bigger person has gotten us this shit. This is how all them should behave. Thank you. See? It's refreshing. It is refreshing. And it's also refreshing because this is a juxtaposition. Donald Trump is a television guy, a fail son, real estate guy, right? He's a reality TV guy. Abdul El-Sayed is a doctor, a Rhodes Scholar, someone who worked in public health. So that is catnip for a specific part of the Democratic Party's fedayeen. The fact that you have a Rhodes Scholar who went to Oxford, 2 degrees, who's worked in public health, who's been a public servant, turning around and just dropping that, it's great. I'm just glad that the person doing it is also a person whose policies I align with. You know what I mean? A person who I trust. He's buff, he's handsome, he's witty, and on top of that, he's got great policies. It's perfect. It's another Zoran moment, you know? It's another Zoran moment where I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God we got some folks, you know? Thank God we got some people that can basically do what we have wanted for years. A lot of the, this is also like a part of what Bernie was incapable of doing. Like Bernie is Bernie. He's straightforward. What you see is what you get. He's a bit of a curmudgeon. He's very stubborn. He's only advocated for the same things over and over again for 80 years, right? So he didn't have that, you know, television ready quality. And I guess part of that is because he was from a time before television, ironically enough, right? This, on the other hand, absolutely brings into the fold the millennials, the Gen Xers, the wine moms, the people that are so goddamn sick and tired of Donald Trump's behavior, Donald Trump's violence, Donald Trump's corruption, his cruelty, someone who can actually take it back and slap him in the face with it. So yeah, I saw this early on, obviously, when I first linked up with Abdul, but I think many other Democrats are going to see this as well. Many other Democrats are going to start to recognize this as well. They're going to say, this is our guy, okay? This is our guy. He has all of the qualities of uniting different subsects of the base. For the bros, he works out. He also is no nonsense, no frills, right? For the low propensity voters who are anti-establishment voters, you know, the people who want to like shake things up, he's got the policies, he's got the vision. And for the regular Democrats, the ones that are the Democrats that vote for the mythical moderate, he's got the anti-Trump. He's got all the anti-Trump qualities, you know what I mean? Like he knows how to slap him back around. So yeah, I'm not very worried, but I will say this. For all of these centrist consultants, what did we see that you couldn't? Okay? What did we see? What did we all see in Abdul that you couldn't? Because if you were to ask me at any point in this campaign, I told you I was very confident about his chances, and I still am very confident about the general too. So if you're wrong all the time and you're wrong professionally, at some point you got to eat humble pie. Is it the paychecks that you're getting that makes you blind to this person who's able to captivate a unique coalition of voters that is the secret sauce? Same with Zoran. You didn't see it with Zoran. You said Zoran's going to be a failure. You said Zoran is going to fail. He's too radical, you said. You said New York Jews will oppose Zoran. That he's anti-Semitic. He wasn't, but you said it nonetheless. And if you recall, and this Twitter user also recognized it, I said, what did I say over and over again in the primaries? I said, Abdul's holding back. Because Abdul, in the primaries, was running against Haley Stevens. 1, a white woman, and 2, a Democrat. Abdul was holding back in the primaries. I kept telling you that. I said, listen, once we get to the general, you'll see a very different Abdul. You'll see him unleashed. Now we're in the general. And now he can take the training weights off. The gloves are off now. It's going to get very exciting. But I hope this is maybe not for the consultants who are paid not to know any better, but I hope this is a lesson for the liberals, the remaining tiny constituency of liberals who spend a good deal of time on the internet, who get their notes from these consultants, and the wannabe consultants, the liberals who actually don't work with campaigns or candidacies at all, but simply behave like they're DNC consultants. I hope this is a learning moment for y'all. All right? Sometimes it's okay to trust the process. Sometimes it's okay to believe. Yeah, the Zoran analysis went from he has no chance in the capital of capitalism to of course he won. New York City is communist overnight. It's hilarious that in the alternative universe of establishment Dems, they didn't lose twice to the weakest GOP candidate in history and only squeaked by in 2020 thanks to a once-in-a-century global pandemic that killed millions. Yeah, their fear. Dr. El-Sayed was paving a path for progressives to seize the party's presidential nomination in 2028 and then go on to lose the general election. This is why not only have I been confident about Abdul's chances from the start, but have also repeatedly mentioned to all of you, to anyone that will listen, the reality that they do not fear our failures. What they fear is our success, because our success will be so loud and so powerful that it will be heard all across the country, okay? They do not fear our failure, but our success. They are worrying about the fact that politics are changing, that old norms and old rules are being written over in front of their eyes. And they're terrified because the way that they made their money, for the longest time was by sticking to the same narrative, sticking to the same script. Pivot to the center, pivot to the center, pivot to the center. Don't offend the corporate overlords. Pivot to the center. Don't put people over money. Put money over people. They'll dump boatloads of money in front of you. They'll destroy you. They'll besmirch your reputation. They'll smear you. You won't be able to out-organize. You won't be able to out-organize organized money. Well, it turns out you can, okay? Turns out you can. So the first victory in the primaries from a campaign that was being outspent 12-1 was very significant. Now the real race is here.
America's first Muslim senator. He campaigned on universal health care, abolishing ICE immigration, taking big money out of politics. Israel, Gaza.
You can out-organize corporate PACs and foreign lobbyists. Not only we can, and we did. We did do that.
That was a big issue here. It splits Democrats between younger pro-Palestinians and the old guard that leans Israel. It put a lot of money behind El-Sayed's rival, who was more centrist in her politics. There's a buzz around El-Sayed. There's no doubt about that. The party has taken a left turn. The Democrats' challenge is in deciding what party it wants to be.
After a bitter primary season in Michigan revealed divisions among Democrats, the party is attempting to show how unified it is as the midterms get close, and it did it pretty fast. Michigan's Democratic Party held a unity rally last night to celebrate its statewide ticket, including U.S. Senate nominee Abdul El-Sayed.
Like, I've gotten this race right so far. We're wearing the same suit, by the way, which is kind of crazy. As a friend of the show, we didn't set the suit thing up on purpose like that. That's crazy. We're twinning. So yeah, Eugene Hasanabi, a friend of the show, certified Hasanabi friend of the show, Eugene. So what I was gonna say is this. So I was pretty on it from the start. I was very confident of Abdul's chance from the start because I knew he had the makings of a great campaign. He had the fundamentals, he had the charisma, he had it all. But I will admit, when I got to eat a little humble pie, when I got to eat crow, I will admit it because I call balls and strikes, and I'm always honest with you. How quickly the Democrats snap back into being a normal party that wants to maintain a Senate majority shocked me. It shocked me to my core. The fact that those endorsements came in, boom, 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 one after the other, immediately after it was established that Abdul was the winner of the primary, that made me happy. It made me happy. It didn't even take a day. Kirsten Gillibrand maxing out to Abdul. The Senate majority PAC, the Dem Senate majority PAC, immediately coming out with not one but two banger ads. Kamala endorsement. Haley Stevens immediately going out and stumping for Abdul. That actually shocked me. The reason why I say this is because I was looking at the way the consultants were talking about it, right? I was looking at the way the consultants were talking about it, the way that, Neera Tanden was talking about Abdul, the way that like all of the weirdos on Twitter still tried to take pot shots at Abdul, pot shots at me to get at Abdul, leaning into Republican narratives. I thought that the party establishment would place more emphasis on delivering a message to ensure that they can maintain control over the narrative that like progressives can't win in swing states. I genuinely thought that level of cynicism would be demonstrated. I was wrong. Okay? So I'll admit it. Democrats, establishment Democrats, you have shocked me so far, because I actually thought that they would turn around and say, nope, we can't let this kind of populist sentiment prove resilient and successful in a state like Michigan, because it goes against the last 40 years of narrative building that we've leaned into. That's also part of the reason why I believe, that Abdul El-Sayed is going to surge and destroy Mike Rogers. The Democratic establishment putting their weight behind Abdul creates this unbelievably powerful force. This unbelievably powerful force that is an antidote to Trumpism. Okay? Because the reality of the matter is you still need the money. You still need the institutional backing. It's just a lot of people don't realize that. They think, oh, no, we can do it. We can do it our way. You can do it our way in the primaries, but you still need it. And especially, and what you don't need is your supposed allies, the Democrats coming after you aggressively, right? You don't need that. That's not good. That's not healthy. That made Zoran's chances far more difficult in the New York mayoral run, if you recall. I mean, Andrew Cuomo coming out with the rest of the centrist establishment Democrats and the entire weight of the Republican Party attacking Zoran Mamdani made that race far more difficult. Okay, the dead enders. I'm happy. I'm happy to see the establishment Democrats snap into action and do the right thing. Now there are those who oppose it. There are those who oppose this. There are those like Third Way, like that Michael De La Rosa guy. There are those who are now continuing the grift and slowly but surely presenting themselves as opposition to the Democrats. Because once you win the primary and your general election is the only track to a Senate majority, and people come out against that candidate and even entertain Republican narratives, it's over. When they come in and start leaning into Republican narratives, it's over. You're an op. You're a fascist. You're a fascist collaborator. You're collaborating with the fascists. You are no different than the people who say they'll vote for the Republicans. And some of these guys are saying they'll vote for the Republican over Abdul anyway, which is completely unacceptable. Like, you can say a lot about me. You can say my lack of enthusiasm around Kamala Harris was what made it, was the reason why Kamala Harris lost, which is really weird because now they say I should stay the away from campaigns. The very same people who said my endorsement for Kamala Harris, my lack of endorsement for Kamala Harris was make it or break it, are now turning around and saying my endorsement of all these other people is actually harmful. I don't know how that happened. And I don't know why they're saying this now. I wish Abdul and the candidates we help support would push back harder when media misrepresents you. They don't have to defend every take, but they should defend you against dishonest framing. I mean, look, there's an election going on. My expectation is not that a person running for office is going to know the context of every single clip or anything like that. The best thing from my perspective, the best thing that they can do, because I do need like some institutional aid, right? I do need it for sure. The best thing they can basically say is this: look, this is a medium that makes itself readily available. This is a medium that makes itself readily available to clips out of context. This person is a shock jock. You're not going to agree with everything he's saying, and I don't either. But at the end of the day, the Bernie answer was the best one, where it's like, look at the totality of what this person is advocating for and understand why he's popular. He's not popular because of the clips that you're presenting here. He's popular because he is pushing for the same message that we've been pushing for years and years. And he's been able to cultivate an audience of door knockers and activists and advocates, and many of which actually come from very unique backgrounds. You know, people who were formerly Republican, people who've never voted, people who never thought that they would vote for a candidate are now out there very young people in comparison to who normally participates in these primaries. They're out there and they're doing the work. And that work actually led to a candidate that they like that was outspent 12-1, winning against unbelievable odds. That's the best possible thing. That's my expectation. Glenn Greenwald went hard for Hasan. Jon Favreau suggested candidates should stay away from streamers. There's no way Jon Favreau said that. I mean, look at the duality. Look at the duality. Should have campaigned for Kamala. Talking about me. Actually, getting Hasan out of the AES campaign will help him win more than anything else. Always wrong. I'm going to clip both of those things. Jon Favreau said that. So you're taking all the hate and Abdul and Ilhan are DPS? Yeah. It is very funny that it's the same people who were like, we want a Joe Rogan of the left. Hasan is the Joe Rogan of the left. And they were like, never mind. We don't want Hasan to be the Joe Rogan of the left. We'd not like that. It's the same people who were like, Hasan should have campaigned for Kamala Harris. Now they're like, don't campaign for candidates that you campaigned for, you know? Now let's talk about the Kamala Harris endorsement. Because there are a lot of people who are mad. They're mad all the time. And they're mad about this too. Okay? And what's interesting about it is that I don't think the Kamala Harris endorsement of Abdul El-Sayed or the Pete Buttigieg endorsement of Abdul El-Sayed is what you think it is. I had the same exact opinion on Barack Obama, Barack Hussein Obama's, appearance with Zohran Mamdani. I think things like that are not indicative of the moral impurity of the likes of Abdul El-Sayed, or they don't signal what you think it signals. For many, they see that and they go, "Oh, these guys are phony, and they're going to betray us. They're compromised." I don't think you realize law on black. Of course, we are mad living in an anti-black world. Wait, what? No, I'm not even talking about. No, this has nothing to do with black people. I'm talking about like the leftists. Like there are leftists out there who are like very anti-Kamala. I mean, I'm obviously very critical of Kamala myself. And they're saying like, well, Kamala Harris oversaw the genocide of the Palestinians alongside Joe Biden, and you're supposed to be this anti-Zionist. Like, why are you not applying BDS rules to Kamala Harris? And what's really interesting about this is I don't think people understand. It's the actual opposite. The fact that Kamala Harris is endorsing Abdul El-Sayed, one, favors Abdul El-Sayed, for sure, especially in the demographics that Abdul underperformed in comparison to Haley Stevens. But it actually is a role reversal. At this point, it's a mutually beneficial situation, but it also signals that the environment has changed. The environment has shifted so radically that someone who was in the crosshairs of AIPAC is getting an endorsement from an AIPAC-backed former presidential candidate. The environment is the exact opposite of 2024. Things like this are going to continue happening, just so you understand. Lol, that's also not BDS. That's not a thing the movement is asking for. I know, I was jokingly saying, like, they're saying you should do a BDS on Kamala Harris. Yep, it shows that Abdul is setting the pace. It only makes sense to treat Abdul as a potential op if he changes his stances. Yeah. And I think some liberals get it. I mean, the Pisco guy, I've seen his clips. This is what popped up on my timeline just now. Like, he gets it, right? There are some liberals who understand it, where they're like this is a which side are you on moment, right? Are you going to side with the fascists? Are you going to coalesce around the fascists? Or are you going to broaden the tent? Are you going to join the fight on the anti-fascist side?
I didn't say this is a big fear, but there are
Look, man, I'm not asking you to hug and kiss every goddamn liberal who recognizes the danger of Trumpism, okay? I'm just saying my expectations are low. My expectations from liberals oftentimes are low. And when they actually outperform my expectations, I'm going to give them credit. That is the environment that we're in. We can't just like cast aside people, okay? I'm not saying become a liberal. I'm just simply stating that there are some liberals who understand the danger. Who understand the danger of fascism, who understand the danger of Trumpism, and are saying, like, you guys are being ridiculous to other liberals who do not. Because the reality of the matter is, I am fine with people who I have significant disagreements with, as long as they recognize the real danger of Trumpism, as long as they recognize the real danger of the Republican Party. I know that's a low bar to set, and maybe the bar will get higher as the environment changes, okay? But we need all the numbers we can get. We need all the numbers we can get. We need it. We can't do it on our own. And that's precisely the same reason why I say, like, you know, the Kamala endorsement is good. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I wouldn't say the same thing about, you know, Liz Cheney or some shit, right? But it's not necessarily, this isn't about, like, movement building isn't about developing an echo chamber. It's about trying to build the broadest coalition possible. No, they are attacking your character. It doesn't matter. They can attack me all day.
That have shown themselves to be effective in this country, actually, and that have addressed these concerns to the extent that they exist. And as well, the track record of moderation and collaboration from these types. And so the threat and magnitude is low. On both those grounds. And just saying communist Hasan Piker is not moving the ball even 1%. They're trying to distract you from the traitorous enemies who are currently beyond the gates and holding power. Don't be marks. Don't be rubes. Don't fall for it. They're trying to distract you. Don't buy into it. This is not a real significant threat. If I thought it was, I would tell you so.
Right now, in this moment, if you think the true danger is coming from your left flank and not your right, you're an idiot. You might as well be a goddamn collaborator of the Republican agenda. That's it. It's time to lock in. We can have we can issue our disagreements with one another later. What is this? When the midterms are done, Republicans are not going to stop trying to elevate Hasan Piker and make him the face of the Democratic Party. This is going to go on and on and on. Very non-zero chance that Piker's name will come up in televised 2028 presidential elections. If Hasan actually cared about the movement he's trying to foster, he would text every candidate he appeared with and tell them to fully toss him under the bus if it would help him win their elections. There's a really big if, considering dude's a narcissist on the level of Trump. And as partisan Democrats who want to stop MAGA by actually winning competitive races and flipping red seats, we have an obligation to pressure the leaders in our party to loudly and unequivocally condemn Hasan and his rhetoric. He is toxic sludge, and the right's efforts, the time to the party is going to work on a lot of people. Hasan Production says, hey, it's a serious question. Is your midterm strategy just to cry about Hasan and DSA every single day until November, and while boosting certain clips in hopes that it would hurt Democrats? Yeah, that is the strategy for a lot of these, like, wannabe consultants. That's their entire goal here, is to get a nod of approval from some of these losers. Some of these fucking losers that have a very mercenary understanding, that want to do everything in their power to erode the left flank. That's it. This is who I'm speaking to when I say it's time to lock in, dude. Shut up. Just shut up. Unbelievably pathetic. You are a piss baby, crying, pissing and shitting in your diapers, demanding that people make me the primary fixture of their candidacy. It's very stupid. Why would they do that, dumbass? Not only is it unhelpful advice, it's bad. Because this is not about my popularity, as I repeat over and over again. I have limited popularity. It's the under 45. We bring those people out. It's fine, right? That's good. And it certainly does help. In elections, it helped with Abdul's, clearly, and numerous others. But if someone were to come out and be like, oh yeah, I condemn this guy, after doing campaign rallies with them, that makes them look weak. That makes them look hypocritical. That makes them, you're leaning into the same liberal sensibilities and liberal optics-focused tendencies that cause Democrats to lose. It's no different than Kamala Harris saying the wall, build the wall is a stupid, racist, expensive idea that we must oppose, to then 4 years later saying, actually, I want to build the wall, and the Republicans are not serious about building the wall. That looks hypocritical. That looks hypocritical, and it makes the normies who are not paying that much attention look at the situation and go, what do you mean? You said you like this guy. You said you campaign with this guy. You said you don't agree with everything that he said, but now you're saying you disavow him. All of a sudden, that makes normies think you're weak. That's it. So you guys are actually demanding Abdul El-Sayed do something bad. Do something bad for his candidacy for no reason. It's so stupid. Just shut up, lock in. If you were sincere about this shit, if you were sincere about winning these races, you just never would talk about this ever again. You would never highlight the Republican attacks. Because it's not like Republican media is going to stop using me as an attack ad against Abdul after he says I disavow Hasan. They're just going to double down. They're just going to double down and say, see, why did you bring this terrorist? Why did you bring this terrorist on the campaign trail if you were going to end up, disavowing him later down the line? I don't think these guys understand. Like, there is a Machiavellian attitude that you can demonstrate that would require you to shut up about me for 3.5 seconds, but you can't do that because you don't care about winning elections. This is just you entertaining another Twitch streamer's beef, a kick streamer, not a Twitch streamer any longer. These kinds of attacks have shown to be unsuccessful over and over again. You just want it to be successful. That's it. You don't care about Abdul El-Sayed winning, or you are fine with him losing as long as he just becomes another vector of attack against me. It's very strange. Very strange behavior. No, they understand they're just caring about their own clout. If you go down, it means their influence goes up, is quite transparent, but it's not. It's not going to go up. Their influence is never going to go up. As a matter of fact, their influence stays marginal, tiny, minuscule, irrelevant for this reason. Because while other people are focusing on putting food on their table, and that's their primary concern, and those who are actually interested in politics are looking for campaigns and candidacies that will address those desires, these idiots are locked in on simply just attacking me. It's so stupid. That's the reason why nobody cares about what you have to say, man. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say. These guys hate me so much. They 100% hate me more than MAGA. They've admitted it. Many of them have said that they would rather vote for Marco Rubio over someone like myself in a hypothetical matchup. And that's the kind of shit that just demonstrates your insanity. The average person hears that and goes, what the are you talking about? A guy who's like pro-Medicare for all and anti-Israel over Marco Rubio? What are you, insane? What do you want, Kane? That's their reaction. And their daddy, Sex Pestany, going through his own current revenge porn court case, has even gone so far as to say Trump is a less damaging force in American politics than someone like myself. It's just a demonstration of mental insanity. You're not showing anybody a reasonable perspective at all. You're just simply showing people how insane you are, how unreasonable you are. Yeah. When you say stuff like it's a 50-50 coin flip between AOC and JD Vance, you're not going to win any liberals to your side. You're actually not even going to win, I said it's almost a 50-50 split between Peter Thiel's fascist blood boy versus a progressive. Is insane. Like, these guys just need mental health treatment. That's it. That's what they need. You should
have said yes.
They need to log off.
I do think that you should have said yesterday when Pisco moved it on you, JD Vance or AOC. I think that that's a pretty easy answer.
The thing is I don't actually know that. Like, in a vacuum with no political influence, I don't know what JD Vance's political opinions are. Like, the guy was a more moderate.
You don't know what JD Vance's political opinions are? He's Peter Thiel's blood boy. That's it. What do you mean you don't know? Don't you think you should know? He's the vice president. Don't you think you should know? You fancy yourself to be a political commentator?
Republican type person. But the problem is JD Vance, like AOC, seems to have no capacity to deal with his own side, right? And that he's fully bought on to co-signing whatever crazy sucking shit Trump needs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, it's not like I would trust, even if Vance was more moderate, I don't know if I would trust him to govern more moderately if there were extremist voices in his camp. I also don't know how much he is actually like a crazy crypto loony after getting brainwashed and mind by Peter Thiel and everything. So he might be, that might just be like way too far on. But I don't know for AOC, like, I just don't know with any of these people now, like, given your opportunity to like abolish all private enterprise, and if the people backing you were for it, I don't know what her answer would be there. I'm not sure. I don't know at this point. I'm not sure. But the problem is that since these people
I'm willing to take my chances with AOC.
Sure. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, like, I probably would, but it's a coin flip.
How do you have such an extreme view of AOC?
It's not like a 90-10. That's like a 55-45. Like, the problem is when nobody...
Lemau, I'm out of here.
Nobody has the ability to say no to anything. I just have to look and see who's around you that's going to be pushing you into shit, because I'm just going to have to assume that you're going to go along with the crazy motherfucker on your side, because apparently nobody can say no.
Yeah. Kick streamer Destiny crashes out after watching Hasan help candidates win their race and announces he's becoming a conservative, and he blames younger black voters. This is the guy.
Oh my God, dude. I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to become MAGA. I want to become a conservative. I just want to become a conservative. At least they're honest about like their racism and everything. Like, I'll never take any of you wokey motherfuckers again. You know what we need to do? This is what we need to do.
Brian Tyler Cohen ended up taking down the Hasan post from yesterday after being messaged by D. Wait, really? That's so sad. That's such a sad situation. Epstein is so obsessed with Hasan that he messaged Brian Tyler Cohen to take down a quote of Hasan, which says Republicans
Brian Tyler Cohen removed the quote.
Oh, I also... Brian said he was going to remove that thing and they'll never post
He did.
Hasan again. So, yeah.
Wait, what happened? Say that
Brian
again?
Tyler Cohen removed the quote of Hasan from his
so
Instagram.
Sad.
Yeah, I messaged him and I was bitching, and he was like, "I don't do my media posts there, but we'll never post on Hasan."
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say this, that like I have.
Don't they claim you of this? Yeah, no, they do. They say it's always projection. It's always projection. It's so sad. What a sad thing to do. God. No, I don't think Brian Tyler Cohen is I mean, this is a lame thing that he did. They hate you so much for that they're siding with Elon Musk and Asmongold. Yeah, of course they are. Again, these guys do not. I mean, it is a lame thing that Brian Tyler Cohen did. Oh God, imagine this being your primary political victory, that you got Brian Tyler Cohen to remove a post. This was the only thing he took down, by the way. It was literally anti-MAGA. No, I know. This is I said it's not Islam that's subjugating women in this country, it's Republicans. And he posted that. I think Brian Tyler Cohen is still, at the end of the day, he's not in opposition to Zoran. He's not in opposition to Abdul El-Sayed. He's just straight up establishment Democrat who is way more comfortable with left flank candidates than these other guys are. So if these guys' only goal is to literally come after me, then that's fine. Who cares? Let him be distracted. It is also very funny that this was in Epstein's community and it's in Hebrew. I was like, why is this why is this post in Hebrew? And then someone was like, oh, they took this screenshot from the Destiny subreddit. But yeah, you are too charitable, man. No, look, man, it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. I think a lot of these people like Brian Tyler Cohen just don't want to be in the middle of internet drama because that's what D's community is. Yeah. Brian Tyler community's reach is so much bigger than Destiny's. Yes. But he's terrified. Here's the reality that we know. Okay. This has been the MO of Dan Stalkman and Sex Pestiny the entire time, DMing everyone they possibly think they can in order to get one or two victories to post on Reddit. These victories include collabing with Republicans. These guys have been collaborating with the Republicans the entire time. Okay. And they are going to continue doing it in much more meaningful ways. That's why they're like retweeting Elon Musk and shit like that. Brian Tyler Cohen and Pac-Man mostly post Trump slop he's done, and that works on YouTube. Whenever you do Trump slop titles, you get similar views. Yeah. We should actually sneakily title all of it like Trump slop style, because that kind of like anti-Trump liberalism works so well. But anyway, as far as the Brian Tyler Cohen situation goes, like, look, I'm fairly certain, as long as he's not a setback, as long as he's not like literally directly opposing candidates like Abdul El-Sayed, which I know he's not, because I was at an event with Abdul and he was there, early on, as a matter of fact. So he's that kind of guy. As long as they're not in opposition to left flank candidates, which I know they're not, which I know Brian Tyler Cohen is not, I'm fine with it. It's the same principle that I have for the Pod Johns. I don't always agree with the Pod Johns, or at least all of the Pod Johns. But at the end of the day, I understand that they are invested in a broader coalition. And that's what matters most to me. What matters to me is actually creating some kind of defense against Trumpism. Right now, we have no defense against Trumpism. Right now, we're literally, like, I don't think a lot of people understand this. Like, right now, we only have the courts, okay? And the courts are holding by, the courts are holding on by a thread, okay? If the courts go down, if due process goes down, if the constitutional protections afforded to every American, like free speech, or even birthright citizenship goes down, we're okay? That's it. We have to have, this is the reason why we have to have a Senate majority. Like, this is not sheepdogging the Democratic Party at all, because there is no guarantee that Democrats, once they have the Senate majority, are going to do our bidding, do the bidding of the masses, do the bidding of the working class. There's no guarantee of that at all. These things take time. These changes take time, and it require tremendous amounts of effort to pull through, to push through. Okay? But having said that, we need to at the very least, put up another line of defense against MAGA. And yes, that line of defense comes through the Senate majority and the majority in the House. Okay? Democrats need to control the legislative body. And if they don't do our bidding, once they have that control, we'll fight back. And this time we'll have some allies on our side inside of the legislative body. Okay? But it's still a far worse predicament not to have that majority. It's still a far worse predicament to just simply hope that the courts remain resilient, that the courts can actually still, operate as though they're working, as though they're functional. We do not have the time, and we do not have the capacity to wait it out. When you got the government talking about blacklisting communists, blacklisting socialists, which range ideologically from someone like myself all the way to Karen Bass. When you got the Trump administration utilizing the FEC, utilizing the FTC, utilizing the regulatory bodies as a way to never really do their regulatory purpose, but instead to attack critics of the administration. It's like, this is a terrifying moment in time that we're in. I don't think people understand that. I don't think people are comprehending exactly how bad things are. This is not about like opposing the dang Cheeto in the White House, right? This is no longer about opposing the dang Cheeto in the White House. The reality of the matter is, it's not just like, oh, Trump is offensive and he hurts my feelings and we need to embarrass him. We're a bunch of frogs boiling in the pan right now. And the water, the heat is going up over and over again. We're about to reach the boiling point. We might have actually reached the boiling point. Do you understand? This is not about the ballroom. This is not about Trump's beautification initiatives for America 250. This is triage. We have to do everything we can to set up opposition to the administration. So I hope people understand that.